Ryan Hillegas, called as a witness herein, having been first duly sworn, was examined and testified as follows. The Clerk: Please be seated. Please state your name and spell your last name for the record. The Witness: Ryan Hillegas, Hillegas. Direct examination by Attorney Buting. Question: And Mr. Hillegas, do you reside in Calumet or Manitowoc County? Answer: I don't anymore. Question: Where do you reside? Answer: I'm in Waukesha County now. I moved in February. Question: Okay. In November of 2005, did you reside in this area? Answer: I did. Question: In which county? Answer: Calumet. Question: And what is your occupation? Answer: I'm a registered nurse. Question: Do you know or did you know Theresa Halbach? Answer: I did. Question: And what was the nature of your relationship with her? Answer: We were close friends. We dated for a while in high school. Basically, just remained friends. Question: So for a period of time you were boyfriend-girlfriend? Answer: Mm-hmm. Question: You have to say yes or no for the court reporter. Answer: Yes. Question: And when did you discover that she was missing? Answer: That Thursday, right after Halloween. Question: Thursday, November 3rd, would that? Answer: That's correct. Question: Okay. And how did you learn this? Answer: Her roommate called me and basically asked me if I had talked to her or heard anything about her. Question: Her roommate being who? Answer: Scott Blowdorn. Question: B-L-O-E? Answer: D-O-R-N. Question: D-O-R-N? Okay. And had you seen her recently before that? Answer: I saw her, let's see, I believe it was Halloween was a Monday. I saw her on Sunday. Question: So the very day before? Answer: I believe so, yes. Question: And were you familiar with her vehicle? Answer: Yup, yes. Question: Did you ever personally see it? In other words? Answer: Yes. Question: Did you ever drive it? Answer: No. Question: Ever ride in it? Answer: Yes. Question: And did you, at some point, become involved in some searches of the area? Answer: Yes. Question: And how did you become involved in that? Answer: I heard she was missing. I believe it was Friday morning. It would have been the 4th. I talked to the family that morning and we had arranged to pick up posters in Appleton at a missing person organisation, and basically it kind of started there. Question: Did you help put together the posters or suggest? Answer: The posters were already put together. I'm not sure if the family collaborated. I'm pretty sure it was the family that got together with the missing person organisation. They put the posters together and printed them up for us. Question: Did you use those posters yourself and later distribute them to others? Answer: Yes. Question: What sort of information was contained on them? Answer: There was a picture of Theresa. Some of the posters had a picture of Theresa as well as the vehicle. There was information about her, describing her weight, height, what she was possibly wearing, and then, I believe, just a little information that if anybody'd seen her, that they should call the number and there was the number for the sheriff's department there for them to call. Question. And so after you picked up some of these posters, and this was Friday morning, you said, right? Answer. Yes. Question. How did you then go from there to becoming involved in some kind of search? Answer. I agreed to go pick the posters up, and I guess I kind of had the most access to, like, phone numbers of her friends, stuff like that. And we just started calling, basically, anybody we knew to come help. And by the time I returned with the posters that afternoon, there was, I don't know, 50, 60 people waiting in the driveway to go out and hang the flyers. Question. So the idea then was to have these people go out and post the flyers, not actually search? Answer. On Friday we put the posters, correct. So it wasn't so much a search, it was more or less getting the information out and getting people in the local areas to realise what was going on. Question. So did you sort of become the coordinator of all this, the volunteers? Answer. Basically, yes. Question. And then at some point, did your thinking go from just a matter of putting up posters to actually using these people to do some searches? Answer. Yes. Basically, how I was advised through the missing person agency was they kind of go in steps. First you get posters out, make people aware, and you kind of move, you get a little more invasive from there, I guess. Question. Do you know the name of this agency? Answer. It is I believe it's the Yes Foundation in Appleton. Question. Is it connected with the police department there? Answer. I have no idea. Question. Okay, but you knew the police were already involved in their own investigation at that time, right? Answer. Yup. Question. So why did you feel it necessary to do any other searches with these volunteers if the police were already involved? Answer. Well, the more help you could get, the better odds we would have of finding her quick, I guess. Question. Did you have any experience in? Answer. No. Question. Searches of this sort? Answer. No. Question. And did you talk to anybody, any police officers or anybody to help explain to you how you could go about doing these searches? Answer. No. I talked to the police, but none of it really regarded how to search, or I guess I didn't get any pointers from the cops on that. Question. When you say you talked to the police, who did you speak with? Answer. Let's see. I know Thursday night when we were at the house, I went over after Scott called me. I went to the house and we kind of started calling around and started calling friends then. But I believe it was Jerry Pagel and Detective Wiggett who were at the house Thursday night, collecting belongings and asking questions. The family was there also. Question. Did you know either of those individuals before that night? Answer. No. I had heard of Jerry Pagel before, only because he was the county sheriff, but I don't think I had ever met him before. Question. Didn't have any other dealings with him on anything? Answer. No. Question. And then, after Thursday night, did you also have some contact with police or law enforcement on Friday? Answer. I believe on Friday I talked to Jerry Pagel, and I'm pretty sure it was regarding, more I spoke to the police every day regarding questions about Theresa, personal items and friends of hers, people who may know information about her. I talked to Jerry on Friday, just shortly, and just mentioned what we were doing. I said we had put up posters and just kind of told him the game plan for things. Question. And did you tell him that? When you say him, are you referring to? Answer. Jerry Pagel. Question. Jerry Pagel, Sheriff Pagel, Did you tell him that you were intending to use these volunteers and go out and do searches? Answer: I believe so, and I believe what we had told them was, or what I had told them, sorry, was that we were just going out on Saturday to do car searches. I told him we were putting up flyers on Friday, and our plan was to go out on Saturday and drive around the countryside and look for anything that was interesting or worth taking a second look at. Question: So did you tell Sheriff Pagel that you had sort of become the coordinator of all this? Answer: I don't believe so. I think it was just kind of assumed. I was kind of the contact for the whole search. If anybody wanted to help, they were instructed to call me. Basically, I guess it started with me. Question: Did you also speak with Investor Wiegert on Friday? Answer: I don't know that for sure. Question: What about Saturday morning? Did you speak with him? Answer: I don't know that for sure either. Question: Is it possible that you did? Answer: I don't know. Question: Well, did you, let me ask it this way. Did you speak to any law enforcement people on Saturday morning, November 5th? Answer: I don't know. Question: And why is it that you don't know? Answer: Well, I guess a lot was going on. We had been up for, most of Thursday night, planning all day Friday night, making maps and posters and sizing them and scaling them to hand out to everybody to their assigned driving areas. Yeah, I guess, 3 days without sleep will. I don't know what else to tell you. Question: Did Sheriff Pagel or any other law enforcement individual tell you that they did not want you to do any of these searches? Answer: No. Question: They didn't say like, butt out, this is our investigation, anything of that sort? Answer: No. Question: Did any of them tell you that they had some concerns about whether your searches might compromise their own investigation? Answer: No. Question: Did you have any concerns of your own about whether searchers or all these volunteers going out over the countryside might somehow compromise the police investigation? Answer: No, not really. I guess our main concern was to find Theresa and find her quick, if she was still alive or still somewhere. Question: But you had considered the possibility that she was not alive at that point? Answer: It was always a possibility, I guess. Question: And were your searchers instructed to search not just for her, but anything, any evidence of her, or anything that might point to her? Answer: Sure, yes. Question: And did you tell that to Sheriff Pagel, that was your purpose? Answer: Maybe not specifically like that, but, I think the intent was just to go out there and search for anything that would lead to her. Yeah. Question: And so to that effort you conveyed that information to Sheriff Pagel? Answer: Yeah. Question: Other than the Thursday, November 3rd, which is the day I think you said you actually met with Investor Wiegert, right? Answer: Yes. Question: Did you have any phone conversations with him after that, between that time and when the vehicle was located? Answer: Detective Wiegert, I don't know. Question: Is it possible, or are you sure either way? Answer: I don't know. Like I said, I talked to so many of the detectives and police throughout the whole search, not just those first 2 days, regarding personal items, number of contact for Theresa, people who knew her. I can't say for sure. Question: All right. So I take it then that you put the word out to these volunteers to get together somewhere. You talked about working on maps and all of that? Answer: Yes. Question: And was there some group meeting of these volunteers? Answer: Yeah. I guess Friday, when I got back with the posters, most of the calls were put out, family and friends. I know the family had contacted a lot of people. A lot of people were just calling to see what they could do. Basically, we were just telling them to meet at the house. So Friday, everybody met me there when I came back with the posters. And Friday night, we planned that Saturday morning, everybody would meet at the house. I'm not sure what time it was, 6, 7? Question. So you had a big meeting on Friday night of everybody as well as Saturday? Answer. Not so much a meeting as it was everybody just met and then we kind of divvied up, I guess, driving assignments and where everybody should go. Attorney Fallon, excuse me, just for the purpose of clarification, we're losing the sequence. Is this Friday night or is this Saturday that we're talking about right now? Attorney Buting, we'll talk about Friday and then we'll move immediately to Saturday. The witness, right now, I think we're talking about both days, yeah? Question by Attorney Buting. So Friday evening there was a gathering of 50-some people, something like that? Answer, yes. Question, when you say at the house, which house are you referring to? Answer, at Theresa's house, where Theresa lived. Question, okay. And were there assignments made on Friday night as to who would do what, or was that? Answer, Friday wasn't as organised as Saturday was. It was, rather fly by the moment. I picked the posters up and everybody met, and when we got back, just had a big circle around me, I guess, and started telling people what cities we needed posters put up in. And people volunteered for mostly the areas they knew, but people just kind of picked areas. We wrote them down for what cities and made sure that all the surrounding. Question, is this still Friday night we're talking about? Answer, this is Friday afternoon, Friday night, yeah. Question, and then, so what was the purpose of meeting again then on Saturday? Answer, to get a group of people together to do a road search, a car search. Question, so were there other assignments handed out on Friday evening that were different than that? Answer, Friday was just putting up posters. Friday wasn't driving around the countryside looking for a vehicle or anything like that. It was basically, question, I'm talking about Friday evening when you had this gathering. Answer, Friday was all posters. We had one gathering. Everybody met. I handed out posters to everybody, gave them city assignments. They went and handed their posters out, and that was it for that day. Question. Okay, so the Friday meeting didn't have any discussion with actual doing any searches. It was just where are we going to put the posters? Answer. Getting the information out. Correct. Question. I gotcha. Okay. So then on Saturday morning, did it change to let's now use them for searches? Answer. Saturday morning, right, it changed. Everybody met and we decided to do a car search, basically. Question, was that your decision? Answer, basically, yeah. We were up all night Friday night making maps. Basically, just took satellite images off the internet, blew them up to scale, gave everybody a blown up version of their roads that we wanted them to search. Question, and did the areas you selected, how did you select what areas to search? Answer, well, we searched pretty much every town and every road from just about the St. John, Sherwood area to all the way to Lake Michigan off to Green Bay. Question, let me ask you this way. Did you have any information from the police or otherwise as to where Theresa was last seen or where she was going on the day that she was last seen? Answer, I'm not sure. I don't believe that we knew where she was last seen then. I'm not real clear about that, like I say. Question, did you know anything about her travels, her activities on the 31st? Answer, I knew that she had been taking pictures out in the Manitowoc County area. Question, okay. And did you know that one of the locations was the Avery salvage property? Answer: I believe I did, yes. Question: Okay, you are saying you just don't know if you knew it was the last place that she was seen, but you... Answer: Right. I don't know when that information was specifically figured out. Question: Okay, but you did know when you were gathering these searches together that the Avery property was one of the places she had been? Answer: Yes. Question: And so as you were dividing up the property or the areas to search, did you give that particular area to any individual? Answer: I didn't, per se, give it to anybody. Somebody volunteered. Well, we had that whole area covered anyways. All the roads, all the backcountry roads. But the property itself went through, I guess. Question: Was what? Answer: I guess you could say went through. Pam Stern had went there, found the vehicle, yes. Question: I'm talking now about the meeting on Saturday morning. Answer: Sure. Question: Did one of the sectors, or you said you had maps, right? Answer: Mm-hmm. Yes. Question: Okay. And you divided them up in certain sectors, would we say, or sections? Answer: Yeah. Question: And then people were assigned or volunteered to take certain sections? Answer: Yes. Question: And one of those sections included the Avery property? Answer: No, that's not correct. Question: So you did not, that was not something that was considered by you to be an area that should be searched? Answer: By me? I consider it an area that, we definitely should look at. That morning, as you were talking, we did not specifically tell anybody to go there. It was more or less the surrounding areas and the countries around there. Question: Okay, and there's like gravel pits and quarries and things like that in that area too? Answer: Right. Question: And were people actually going to be walking overland or just driving on the roads? Answer: No. That morning the plan was for everybody to go out in their cars and look for anything conspicuous. Tracks going into the ditch, her vehicle, anything basically that would lead to where she was. Question: But my question is, were they restricted to just the roads, or was it anticipated that people would then get out and walk? Answer: I did not restrict anybody. If they wanted to get out of their vehicles and walk spots, that was kind of up to them. My plan was just to get the people out there and have them looking. Question: All right. Now, Pamela Stern, did you know her before that day? Answer: No. Question: Never met her? Answer: No. Question: Did she? So you had never talked with her at all before Saturday morning? Answer: She may have been there on Friday when we handed out the posters. I took names down. I don't remember who I talked to. Basically, we were in such a hurry by the time I got back that I didn't have time to meet and greet with anybody. Question: Okay, but by the way, did you review anything before your testimony today to help you refresh your recollection about your testimony? Answer: No. No reports or notes of your own? Answer: No. Question: Okay, so did Pamela Sturm arrive with all the other groups? Answer: No. Question: When did she arrive? Answer: I don't remember the time. The large group that met that morning left the house at approximately between 7 and 8. I'm going to guess. Pam showed up maybe an hour or two after everybody else had left. Question: And what was discussed at that point? Answer: Pam came to the house and basically introduced herself and asked what she could do. I explained to her what we were doing for the day, what our plan was, showed her the maps. By that time, most of the areas were already covered, and she basically mentioned to me, has anybody gone to the Avery car lot or Avery salvage yard? I don't remember the correct terms for it that she used, but. Question. And did you know that she was a former private investigator? Answer. At that time, I don't know if I did. Question. Did she? Do you recall her telling you anything about her experience she might have had with searches? Answer. I don't remember that. I don't know. Question. Okay. When she mentioned that she might want to take that section and search the Avery salvage lot, did you understand she meant actually going onto the property? Answer. Yes. Question. Not just the roads nearby? Answer. Yes. Question. And did you discuss with her at all, whether she should get permission or what her procedure should be or anything of that sort? Answer. I don't remember that. I really don't remember what was discussed. Basically, that she wanted to go in there and just said, well, if that's what you want to do. I wasn't going to tell her no, but I specifically didn't want to tell anybody that they should either. But. Question. But you were coordinating all this, right? Answer. Yes. Question. So there wouldn't be overlap? Answer. Yes. Question. And did you talk to her at all about, the police might also be searching that area and you should check with them? Or did you have any discussions like that? Answer. I do not think so. I guess I'm not real sure. Though, I don't believe so. Question. Okay. Did she tell you that she had spoken to any police officers about it? Answer. No. Question. No, she didn't. Or. Answer. No, she did not. Question. She did not tell you that? Answer. She didn't tell me that. Question. Okay, now you mentioned that these flyers had phone numbers on them, like a hotline number or something. Answer. Some type of number, yes. Question. Not a number that you got yourself? Answer. Excuse me? Question. I mean, not a number. You didn't have anything to do with putting that number on the flyer? Answer. No. Question. You got some other numbers that you could also use to contact the law enforcement, right? Answer. Yes. Question. And what were those? Answer. Most of the investigators that I had been speaking to. Question. Okay. They all gave you their phone numbers? Answer. Pretty much yes. And cards. Question. So that would be their direct lines? Answer. Yes. Question. So Sheriff Pagel gave you his card with his phone number? Answer. Yes. Question. Investor Wiggett gave you his card with his phone number? Answer. Yes. Attorney Fallon. Objection. Leading. Attorney Buting. I'm asking, did he? I will rephrase it. Question by Attorney Buting. Did Investigator Wiggett? The court. You may answer. The witness. Ask me that again, please. Question. Did Investigator Wiggett give you his business card with his phone number? Answer. Yes. Question. And did you provide those phone numbers to the volunteer searchers? Answer. I don't. Not that morning. I did not. But I had tried to call that number for information, and it was the number on the flyer, I believe, was the number for the General Dispatch in Calumet County, which it is not a fast way to get a hold of anybody. You need to, if you have direct numbers. Question. So the faster way was to call which number then? Answer. Well, for me, I had direct access to all the investigators, so I could just call their numbers. Question. So what was the plan? Were the volunteers, if they found anything, were they supposed to call you? Were they supposed to call the sheriff? How did you organise that? Answer. The plan was to call the sheriff or to call 911 or whatever number they had available to them to get a hold of somebody. Question. So did you give them any of those direct phone numbers? Answer. I gave Pam Stern, I gave her Cherry Pagel's number that morning. The cell phone coverage out in that area is absolutely horrid, and to get a call out to, most of the time when I use my phone out there, I only have 30 seconds or a minute to talk before your phone cut off on you. But I gave Pam that number, Jerry Pagel's number, that morning, with the intent that if she was going into the car lot and needed to call somebody quick and get somebody out there, that would be the best way for her to. Question. Is she the only one you gave that personal number to? Answer. I believe so. Question. By Attorney Buting. Question. Who else had already been on that Avery property, to your knowledge? Answer. To my knowledge, I don't know if anybody had. I knew that there were cars that were in that area. Whether any of them got out and got into the property, I do not know. Question. When you say cars in that area, you mean other volunteers? Answer. Yeah, searchers from that morning. Question. What about the prior day? Were there any searchers in that area? Volunteer searchers in that area? Answer. Not searchers per se, more or less handing out flyers at, bars, restaurants, grocery stores, post offices. Question. So a volunteer may, in fact, have actually gone to the Avery property and left a flyer. Answer. There is a possibility. If that was their choice to go there and put a flyer up, maybe they did. I never instructed anybody or heard that it happened. Question. Okay. Before the morning of November 5th, had you ever been out to the Avery property? Answer. The 5th? No. Question. That Saturday morning? Answer. No. Question. So, before the vehicle was located, you had never been, in your whole life, you had never been to that Avery property? Answer. No. Question. I mean, that's correct? Answer. That is correct. Question. Okay. Did you have any idea, though, how many vehicles might have been on that property that Pam Stern was going to have to? Answer. I didn't know how many vehicles were there, no. Question. You hadn't seen any aerial photographs that would give you a clue or anything of that sort? Answer. I don't know if I had seen the aerial photographs by then, when the news was covering it. Obviously, there was coverage from above, helicopter shots of the property. I don't recall when I saw those and realised the scale of it, though. Question. So you don't know whether that was before the vehicle was found or not? Answer. No, I don't. Question. Did you at some point ever go to the property, the Avery property? Answer. Yes. Question. When was that? Answer. Geez, when did we go there? I'm not real sure on the dates. It was possibly that Monday or Tuesday, which would have been, let's see, was that the 6th or 7th, that Monday? Question. Let me ask you this. When you went to the property, was it still, to your knowledge, in the custody of the law enforcement? Answer. Yes. Question. Did you pass through any checkpoints? Answer. Yes. Question. And what were you doing there? What were you supposed to be? Answer. We had met. Let's see. We went and we talked to, I believe it was Jerry Pagel, and just showed him our maps, showed him the lands that we had searched. We had been walking fields and outlying areas of the sectored off areas of the Avery property. We had went through the county parks around there, river bottoms, fields, forest, basically to show them on the maps and show them the lands we had covered. Question. So did you actually go into the salvage lot area, though, and start searching on that day? Answer, no. Question, I don't understand. Answer, well, I will correct myself. We went there and showed them the maps, yes, that morning. And I believe it was, like I say, I'm not clear on the days that we were out there, but we did go into, I don't know if it was the sectored off areas, but the very outskirt areas of the enclosed areas, I guess. We walked just a flat wintergreen field with nothing in it. Walked across the road on some, I believe it was public land, just forested, and fields by some houses. Question, but were you walking around in the Avery property area or its immediate outskirts? Answer, not in the salvage yard, and I don't know who owned the land. If it was the Averys or not, it was farm field. Question, but it was past the police checkpoint? Answer, on the road, yes. Police checkpoint was a mile out on each side. Attorney Fallon, I'm going to object to the relevance of this. We don't even know what day it is. We don't know if it was Monday. We don't know if it was Tuesday. We don't know if it's inside, outside the property, and whether it is or isn't is irrelevant. The court. Mr. Buting? Attorney Buting, I'm just trying to clarify whether it is or isn't. The court. I'm going to give Mr. Buting a little latitude here to answer some of the questions raised by Mr. Fallon. Attorney Fallon, just so the record is complete, I would note that whatever is occurring here is well after the warrant was applied for. Attorney Buting, we may have to recall the witness potentially, but I'm almost done with my questions of him anyway. So, the court. All right, go ahead. Question by Attorney Buting. Just so we're clear, at some point you were allowed in past some police checkpoint to do some searches. Answer, correct. Question, you are just alone or with other volunteers? Answer, myself at first and then other volunteers to follow after we kind of got a land assignment. Question, and did the officers who let you in know that you had a relationship as a former boyfriend with the missing woman at that point? Answer, I don't know if anybody knew I was an ex-boyfriend of hers. I guess I never saw the relevance of it. Question, did Sheriff Pagel know that? Answer, what's that? Question, did Sheriff Pagel know of your relationship with her? Answer, I don't believe so. I think everybody just assumed I was a good friend. Question, did Sheriff Pagel know that you had seen Theresa yourself just the day before she disappeared? Answer, I believe so. Mr. Buting, that's all the questions I have, Judge. The court. All right, we'll take our morning break at this time and come back in 15 minutes. Recess taken. The court. Mr. Buting, it's my understanding that you have finished your direct examination of Mr. Hillegas. Attorney Buting. Yes, Your Honour. The court. Mr. Fallon or Mr. Kratz? Mr. Fallon. Attorney Fallon. Thank you, Judge. Cross-examination by Attorney Fallon. Question. Mr. Hillegas, the YES organisation, which you mentioned, that is an acronym for the Youth Education and Safety Organisation. Answer, I believe so, yeah. Question, and that's an organisation that was founded by Mr. Breyer. Answer, yes. Question, and as far as you know, he has no association with any law enforcement entity whatsoever. Answer, I don't believe so, no. Question, all right, okay, so we're clear. You became involved in the efforts to find Theresa Halbach on Thursday, November 3rd. Answer, yes. Question, and that's when you became aware of the fact that she was actually missing. Answer, yes. Question, And you were aware of the fact that a missing persons report was filed by the Halbach family regarding Theresa? Answer: yes. Question: all right. And at some point there was a gathering of people on Thursday evening? Answer: Friday. It was Friday afternoon. Question: Friday afternoon? Okay. I'm not clear from your testimony on direct examination. Did you participate at all in any meeting with any volunteers, any family members, anyone on Thursday night, November 3rd? Answer: yes. Question: okay. Where did that take place? Answer: that was at Theresa's house. Question: Theresa's house, and where she lived with her roommate, Mr. Blowdorn? Answer: yes. Question: and there were other family members there? Answer: Karen and Tom came over to the house that evening. Question: all right. Now, as you sit and think now, as to that particular day, do you recall whether Sheriff Pagel was even present on Thursday evening, November 3rd? Do you have an independent recollection of that? Answer: I believe that it was Pagel and Wiegert that were over Thursday night with the family looking for belongings. Question: looking for belongings, as opposed to Friday, as opposed to any other day? Answer: I believe it was Thursday, but honestly I believe there was somebody at the house for about the first 4 or 5 days, once she was filed missing, to pick up items and belongings. Question: now would it be fair to say that, as a matter of fact, you became involved on Thursday, November 3rd, and your involvement didn't really end until the following Wednesday? Answer: yes. Question: all right. Which would be about the 9th, I believe? Answer: yeah. Question: all right. Now, during that particular time, you did have numerous contacts with law enforcement throughout the days? Answer: yes. Question: all right. Specifically, my questions are going to be focused on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning. Think about those particular times, all right? Now, first and foremost, you indicated that posters were obtained on Thursday, November 3rd. Answer: actually, the posters were obtained Friday on the 4th. Question: all right. When did you become aware that posters were on order, as it were? Answer: I believe it was Friday morning. I had spoken with the family and they had mentioned to me that this foundation in Appleton was printing up the posters, and they asked me if I could pick them up. Question: when did it become apparent, either directly or implicitly, that you were going to coordinate the volunteer effort? Answer: I guess it kind of just happened Friday, when I got back with the posters. Basically had a whole group of people, I guess, wanting to know what they could do, and somebody had to get them on their way. Question: all right. So would it be fair to say that on Thursday evening you volunteered to go get the posters? Answer: Friday morning I volunteered to go pick them up. Question: so in terms of Thursday evening, there was no discussion really, no formal discussion regarding the organisation or coordination of a poster effort or a volunteer effort at that particular point? Answer: no. Question: and there was no instruction or guidance or direction provided by anyone from law enforcement to you relative to the creation of a volunteer effort on Thursday evening? Answer: no. Question: that's a correct statement? Answer: that is a correct statement. Question: all right. Now let's go to Friday morning. Friday morning, you volunteered to go pick up the posters. Answers: yes. Question: and the poster were provided by the Yes organisation? Answer: yes. Question: they were not provided by law enforcement? Answer: no. Question: all right. You return back with the posters. There's a group of individuals gathered at Theresa Halbach's residence. Answer: yes. Question: All right. And at that particular point, you and Mr. Blowdorn discussed things, and apparently or implicitly, you became the director, as it were, or the coordinator of this volunteer effort to find Theresa Halbach. Answer: yes. Question: all right. Now, at that Friday morning meeting regarding the placing of the posters, it was your decision to focus efforts on that day of getting the word out to the community. Answer: that's correct. Question: and was it your idea to organise people in such a way as there would be a specific area targeted for the publication, as it were, of the information regarding Theresa's disappearance? Answer: yes. Question: all right, and that information was going to be dispersed to the public by means of these posters? Answer: yes. Question: and they were going to be tacked up in public places throughout Manitowoc and Calumet County? Answer: yes. Question: all right, and in terms of taking that approach, that was your idea, correct? Answer: I guess it wasn't so much my idea to do it that way. It was the Yes Foundation that had mentioned that. You know, first thing is get the information out. So I guess that's how I kind of pictured that we needed to do it. Question: all right, so you got advice from them? Answer: yes. Question: all right, who were you in contact with from the Yes organisation that provided that advice? Do you recall? Answer: yep, Jay Breyer. Question: all right, and you had a number of conversations with him? Answer: yes. Question: he had some experience, as it were, in trying to find missing persons or engaging in this type of work? Answer: yeah, some type of experience. I know he had a daughter or a niece that was abducted or missing, and that's how he began. But he had helped out a lot of searchers across the state. Question: so you conferred with him regarding a relative game plan, as it were, to get the word out? Answer: yes. Question: all right, so you were following his advice? Answer: yes. Question: so with respect to the placing of the posters and dividing people up and sending them to various locales in the two-county or tri-county area, there was no one from law enforcement telling you to do that? Answer: no. Question: was there no one coordinating you or directing you in that regard? Answer: no, that is correct. Question: all right, so you come back, you disperse the people to cover their respective areas for these poster placements. Did anything else occur on that particular day other than dispersing the posters? Answer: no. Question: all right, now the phone number which was on the poster was the general dispatch number for the Calumet County Sheriff's Department, correct? Answer: I believe so, yes. Question: all right, now at some point during that day you did have some contact with Sheriff Pagel, correct? Answer: yes. Question: and you were, the point of that conversation or contact was to advise him of what you were doing, correct? Answer: yes. Question: all right, at no point during your conversation was Sheriff Pagel that day? Attorney Buting: I'm sorry, what day are we talking about? Attorney Fallon: Friday. Question by Attorney Fallon: at no point during your conversation, well, first of all, before I even ask that question, how many times, your best recollection if you are not sure, tell us you are not sure, how many times you spoke with Sheriff Pagel on Friday, November 4th? Answer: I guess. How many times? I am not exactly clear or sure. Question: could it have been once? Could have been twice? Answer: it was at least once. I don't know if it was any more than that. Question: at some point during the course of your discussion to advise him what you were doing, you obtained a more direct phone number from him, should somebody find something? Answer. Well, I had received his card the night before when he was at the house. Question. All right. Answer. So I guess that's when I obtained the number. Question. All right. But the night before, you didn't have any discussions with him regarding what you were doing or how you were going to go about it or anything like that. Answer. No, we didn't have a plan basically until Friday morning. Question. In fact, you don't even know if you talked to him that night other than to receive his card and exchange pleasantries. Answer. Basically, yes. Question. Okay, so on Friday, when you did talk to him at some point, either one or possibly two occasions, you did obtain a more direct phone number, or was that already on the card? Answer. I had that on the card. Question. All right. Now, on these conversations with Sheriff Pagel that day, in no way did he direct you to where to place these posters, correct? Answer. That's correct. Question. And there was no discussion with him whatsoever regarding any perceived or intended plans to actually conduct searches with the volunteers who were placing the information in the general public? Answer. Yes. Question. That's correct. Answer. Yes. Question. All right. And similarly, you think that you may have made contact with Detective Wiegert on Friday, November 4th, or are you not sure about that? Answer. I'm not sure if I had any contact with Wiegert on Friday. Question. All right. And it's difficult for you to recall when you had contact because at some point during the 7 days or so that you were involved in looking for Theresa, you did have contact with law enforcement from time to time. Answer. Yes. Question. Okay. Now, with respect to later that Friday, were there, on Friday was there, when did it become apparent, or when did the idea come to you that maybe we should do more than put posters out? Maybe we should actually use some of these folks to actually look for Theresa. When did that come about? Answer. I believe it was late Friday night. I don't exactly recall how we got started on that idea. I did know that I had a whole lot of volunteers that wanted to do something. Everybody was willing to help. So I guess we just figured we would put them to use. Question. When you say we figured we would put them to use, are you referring to yourself and Mr. Blowdorn? Answer. We means me and Scott. Yes. Question. Now, the decision that maybe we can take advantage of these folks in that regard was entirely your decision? Answer. I don't know if it was entirely my decision, and I guess, like I said, I'm not clear how that got started or how we came upon the idea of it. Question. When I say your, I mean yours, meaning you and Mr. Blowdorn. Answer. Right, yes. Question. No one from law enforcement told you that. Hey, this would be a great idea if you collected some people and went out and helped to look, right? Answer. No, nobody from law enforcement told us that. Question. All right. Now, Saturday morning, you indicated that at some point then, on Friday evening, you must have gotten word out to get everybody to come to the house on Saturday morning. Answer. Yep, Friday evening, late evening. We had started telling people to just meet at the house the following morning and we would have a plan. Question. And you were drawing from the pool of 50 to 60 people who assisted in putting posters up that day? Answer. That, and there were probably 20 to 40 more people that were there the following day on Saturday morning. Question. All right. So on Saturday morning, you had perhaps as few as 70 and maybe almost 80, 90 people? Answer. I would say that's probably accurate. Question. All right. Now, of that 80 to 90 people, it's true, is it not, that there was not one single solitary law enforcement officer present? Is that true? Answer. That is true. That's correct. Question. And the meeting you said was scheduled for somewhere between 6, maybe 7 o'clock in the morning? Your best recollection? Answer. I believe, yeah. Question. All right. Now, during the course of the meeting, you had a large gathering of individuals there, and the decision was, tell us how the meeting went. Answer. Well, by the time people had started showing up in the driveway on Saturday to go out and do the search, me and Scott had already, basically, had maps of sectioned out areas that we were ready to hand out to people, and basically, when they got there, we had them line up and come through the house. When they got in the kitchen, we made them take a look at the map, gave them a larger version of the map, and then we gave them a smaller version also that we wanted them to cover, and that's where they went from there. Question. Where did the maps come from? Answer. Me and Scott made them that night. Question. And where did you make them? How did you make them? Where did you get the information to create the maps? Answer. Satellite imaging off the internet. Question. Your best estimate, how long did the meeting last for? You to process all the helpers, as it were. Answer. To go through everybody, it was pretty quick. Once they started filing through the house and taking assignments, from start to the end of the large group that was there in the morning, maybe took an hour, hour and a half to get everybody out of the house. Question. So after an individual group or person received their assignment, were they then released to go search that area, or did they stick around for any further instructions? Answer. No, they left right away. Question. They left right away? So it was basically get your assignment, and then they were out the door? Answer. As soon as they talked to me and got their assignment, they were basically out on their own and ready to leave. Question. All right. And you pretty much left it in each individual searcher's discretion as to how they would go about conducting the search? Answer. Yes. Question. Similar to, I think you said, whether people wanted to get out of their vehicles and walk the area. That was up to them. You certainly didn't put any restrictions or even give advice as to how they should go about doing it. Answer. No. I basically told them to look for anything suspicious, her vehicle, tracks, anybody who had seen her. Question. As a matter of fact, the focus still, at that time, was under the impression or hope that there might have been just some automobile mishap, and that perhaps her car was stuffed some side of the road somewhere and no one had discovered it. Answer. I guess, yes. Question. All right. Now, during the course of handing out these assignments, you didn't hand out any assignments to go search any personal property. By that, I mean any particular residence or buildings. Answer. No. Question. And the assignments to search areas were more or less public roads and lands which were readily accessible from public roads. Answer. Yes. Question. They included county parks, gravel pits, for instance, and fields, farms, etc. Answer. Yes. Question. All right. Now, after the initial group of people were processed and given their assignment and sent on their way later that morning, Miss Pam Sturm and her daughter, Nicole, showed up. Answer. Yes. Question. Your best estimate, that was maybe as much as an hour, could be even more, after the general group had passed through. Answer. Yes. Question. Now, Miss Sturm comes to your particular meeting here, and by and large, she was the only one left. Had everyone else pretty much passed through? Answer. The large group of people that left that morning, everybody was gone from that group. Throughout the entire day, people were stopping in, people who just got off work or people who just found somebody to watch their kids. So all throughout the day, there were stragglers coming in. Question. Stragglers coming in? Now, when Miss Stern came in, as I understand it, just so that we're clear, it was she who asked, without any prompting from you or anyone else, whether anyone had been given the assignment of going to the Avery property. Answer. Yes. Question. All right. And she said, well, then I'll take that. Is that correct? Answer. Yeah. Question. It was her idea? Answer. Basically, yes. Question. All right. When you say basically. Answer. Yeah, it was entirely her idea. She was the one that mentioned it to me. Question. And that's because she told you, well, isn't that the last place where Theresa was seen? Answer. It was. Question. That was her thinking? I might as well go there? Answer. Yes. Question. All right. So she and her daughter then took that assignment and they left to go there, correct? Answer. Yes. Question. Now, before they left, did you give them a phone number just in case they had problems or they found anything? Answer. I did. Question. All right. What number did you give them? Answer. I gave them Jerry Pagel's, his cell number. Question. His cell number? From the card that he gave you? Answer. Yes. Question. All right. And other than that, you had no other discussion with her regarding law enforcement's potential involvement in her effort to search the Avery property? Answer. Right. That's correct. Question. Okay. Her time at the meeting place was just literally a matter of minutes, maybe 10 minutes? Answer. I would say between 5 and 10 minutes. Question. Did she take any maps or did she just kind of go on her own? Answer. We gave her maps, I believe, of the area. Question. The general area? Answer. Right. The same map that we had handed to everybody else. Question. Okay. Similarly, I know I asked you about Saturday. Let me back up to the Friday meeting about divvying up the posters and deciding who was going to put the information and the posters in what particular area. There was no one from law enforcement involved in that meeting either. Answer, no. Question. All right, let's talk about the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Attorney Fallon, if I may, and if the court wants to put another exhibit on there, I would like to direct the witness's attention to exhibit number 2 from the preliminary examination dated 12/6 of 05. If the clerk would prepare another exhibit sticker, I would be happy to put it on here, whatever the next number in order is. The clerk. 18. Exhibit 18 marked for identification.